Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Django Ultimus, and tonight I am joined by two wonderful guests, Amandus and Industus. We're going to cast some Elemental League games from the clown gaming perspective. Two best of ones and two best buddies of mine. How you guys doing tonight?
Hi, hello, nice to meet you, everyone. I am doing great. How about you, Induced?
I'm doing pretty good. I think a best buddy is a little bit generous, but No, I'm just kidding. I
Good
love Jake. I'm just
acquaintance. It,
kidding.
it rhymed that way, you know? You gotta
We
keep it
are
Screw
rhyming.
that.
we are amigos, as I might say. Okay.
Oh my god. Okay,
Oh,
switching
whoops.
between draft tools always screws up my overlay. Maybe I'll get it fixed for next time, maybe I won't. But it's on screen as we are already through the first set of bans. Always a good bit of target bans here in preseason as we see a very boring top laner locked in for the Clown Sign
I think
Gaming.
that's really greedy pick, honestly. If I'm talking about it, because I think there's so many counters, and if you're first picking that, that's really dangerous. Although to be fair, the lane does play itself.
Oh, and we have a turn of pick, ladies and gentlemen.
Something I'm very curious about is how much you see Trundle in other rules in this elo. I know it can be technically triflex between support, jungle, and top. In my experience, it is mostly a jungle top laner. I don't know where you guys see it.
I definitely agree with that. I think recently we've seen like a rise of people trying to run it top with like lethal tempo. Not sure how good that really works, but
Oh yes, I've definitely seen it in the top lane of back in my days. I listened to picks like Renekton and such, since it is basically the on-the-go stat checking champion, as I might say. Where is Sema? Sema is nowhere to be seen, unfortunately.
yeah. So what I'm seeing from so far from the Tom Kench pick is I'm hoping that Clown Gaming team goes for like a solid just top lane tank, and then they play for like a more team fight bot lane, and then pick some power picks for their jungle and mid laner to kind of take the game over. So hopefully we can see that come out of them.
How do you feel about the Jinx induced? I know you're a bot lane extraordinaire, and I feel like it's a very controversial pick. I feel like a lot of people are really high on it, a lot of people are really low on it. Where do you sit on it?
I think she's really strong,
Right.
like absurdly strong, honestly. Just the amount of damage she provides, like her laning is really safe, and then she can just pop off in team fights. So it's really hard to deal with.
Yeah, I honestly think in my experience, I've never had an issue dealing with Jinx picks, since on my end, I can only just play something that can burst her down. So if a mid lane can pick something like that, I think Clown Gaming will definitely be set for a nice slick win this round.
Looking at that, looks like bot lanes and top lane for Clown Gaming. We got a bit of a flex on the TD Harmony side. Do you guys know what organization TD is? That doesn't ring a bell for me.
That does not ring a bell for
Mm.
me either. What about you,
Yeah, I
Luke?
don't know. They must not ever make like semis or finals or anything because I've never seen them before.
All right. Starting off strong. This is the part where they beat you, by the way. Just for the record.
Yeah,
Now that we've
yeah,
said that, this is the part
I'm gonna
where we
be
get
I'm gonna be
clapped.
honest with you. Looking at this draft so far, I really really like their draft, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I really like the Lulu pick. I honestly it may be biased, but I think Lulu is a very strong support overall.
But that being said, I really do also like the Clown Gaming draft in general. I think it plays to their team strengths, so hopefully they can round it out pretty well.
So what I
They're
see
definitely
from the
going to be looking for like a strong jungler. I'm surprised Hecarim's not off the board. I think Hecarim is ridiculously strong right now,
I think
but
it's
that's just
interesting
me
that
personally.
TD decided to ban the Sejuani. The Evelyn makes a lot more sense because I feel like when you look at the three champions that Clown Gaming has drafted, they're looking for pretty big power picks in the mid and jungle. They're looking for those to be their carries. They're looking for those to contribute a good portion of the damage. And I'm surprised that a tanky option like Sejuani was taken off the board. The question now for TD is if they want to give their mid laner counter pick and blow their flex right now, or if they're going to blind pick a mid and keep the flex alive.
I think they're gonna, I think they're gonna pick their jungler here, and I think they're gonna throw that Trundle top lane. Let's see if it happens.
Read them like a book. Amumu locked in, and technically you could
Man,
send
oh
Lulu
man.
mid, but I think we're pretty confident in saying that Amumu is going into the jungle, and we're gonna have Trundle into the top lane. I don't know if that's a hover because arcane stuff, or if that's
I think
actually gonna.
that's a legitimate pick. Yep.
Oh,
There we go.
nice.
Oh, my man logs in the vein. The Vi, I'm sorry. Apologies.
I think you need a really heavy burst mage. I think I agree with the Mandis here because somebody's got to follow up on this Vi. Vi's going to be able to charge through the Amumu and charge through the Trundle just with the unstoppable assault and battery, but it's not something that the rest of the team can really follow up on, and that will be a
Yes,
champion
and
that
the
can
cast
access
didn't.
backline. All right.
Yes,
That was definitely a really good pick to round that team comp out. I was concerned because, like you were saying, they need a burst mage, but I'm sitting here thinking, like, what do they play that, like, rounds into that?
I was
And
more
that is
say
the pick.
I thinking he was gonna pick a Kassadin since they don't have any I don't think it would be a very wise for the enemy team to pick an AD pick here alas since they wouldn't have any AP otherwise. So I think Kassadin is a very good pick right here. And they went with the classic Orianna.
Feels like TD want to play heavily around team fights with that Amumu, Orianna, Jinx core. The Lulu buffing up the Jinx, the Lulu buffing up the Trundle, and Trundle feels like a bit of an odd pick here, but I'm assuming with the lethal tempo and with the dueling potential that I know Trundle can bring, that it is a pick he's confident taking into the Tahm Kench, as that was the counter pick.
Yeah, I feel like that matchup's definitely going to be Tahm Kench's favorite early game, but if Trundle can just stay even, get his levels in, eventually Tahm Kench isn't going to be able to do anything to Trundle. I
Eventually
think
he will get
it's definitely looking like TD Harmony has a team comp where they can just team fight very like generically and not have to outplay their opponents. Whereas Clown Gaming has a team comp where I think it's a strong team comp if they can pull off like their team fighting and play very skirmishy instead of just straight up trying to like wombo.
Okay, let me watch you here. Oh yes, hello, Jason. Nice to meet you, and I thank you for joining us this fine evening.
I think there's a really interesting power dynamic when I look at these drafts where Clown Gaming feels like they're actually stronger in the early skirmishes and maybe even into the one item mark where their CC is just going to reign king. And then TD Harmony kind of bell curve in the mid game where 2-3 items, their carries are just hitting like trucks, their tanks are just really tanky. And then it feels like it almost switches back to Clown Gaming in that uber late game when Caston just kind of gets to run free.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that TD Harmony's team comp isn't going to take much coordination to pull off, right? Like they have Jinx who sits in the back and free autos with a Lulu, a Mumu, Orianna, like just the generic cookie cutter picks. But then we have Clown Gaming. They have pick potential. They have lockdown. They have Assassin, Kassadin going around in the background. So it's going to be very, very bloody on their team fights, and hopefully they can pull something off. Maybe.
Yes, I hope so too. All right, here I will be back, gentlemen. Give me a second, please.
Oh, that's
Oh,
the tacos.
he just called us a break.
I thought he was going to break too, and then I remembered that he had to go get food. So I'm gonna assume that's where Paco has disappeared too. I have just noticed, by the way, bans. There are 5 bans from Clown Gaming levied at Chessie, the enemy mid laner, and the R5 Orianna. Maybe that's something they're looking to exploit, because there's a lot of ban focus now that I'm kind of zooming in on this draft.
I will share a little bit of inside knowledge. I was talking to one of the Clown Gaming players earlier today, and they
Hello,
said
friends.
they had played against Chessie a couple days ago and that they were very good. So maybe they're just concerned about the player's ability.
A bit scared, a bit shaken in their boots. But, I mean, you can't be too scared if you're willing to blind pick a Kassadin into him. So maybe the band's giving them a
For
bit more
sure.
confidence. The Vi is going to be probably visiting mid lane if they have that opinion of Chessie. So he's going to have to take care and keep safe in the mid lane. Anything else we want to talk about? Specific lane matchups? How we think junglers are going to go early invades against the Amumu? Anything you guys are looking for?
I don't think there'll be too much as far as early MA goes since Kassadin is very weak on the early side mid game, and if Orianna's good about it, she would just keep him down with just pure auto attacks. at least until Kassadin I'll get some levels in. So I doubt there will be very much invading, unfortunately.
That's actually an interesting point. In chat, do we feel like Trundle ever has to help the core of his team, or can he actually just become a split pusher and pressure the Kassadin to be away from his team? Because I feel like Kassadin's the only one that can answer, right?
Yeah, and I think that's what's really good about their team comp is that like Trundle, if he gets ahead, he can just run away with the game split pushing, and if he doesn't get ahead, he's still useful in team fights and sectioning off team fights, etc. Like, there's so much he can do, and hopefully, we'll see what they decide to do with it. I don't know if he's gonna go split push or he's just gonna. I don't even think he needs to build split push items. I just don't think there's anyone on the team that can stop him personally. I don't know what you think, Django.
I agree with that 100%.
I also agree with that. I don't think a Kassadin or Timothy Kensington can do much after some point in the game.
Alrighty, well, we got about 1:30 on the spectator load. We're going to load in and sync up into the game, and then we'll be right back to give you guys all the action here for Game 1 of the Elemental League. Reminder, this is just from the Clown Gaming perspective, not an unofficial stream or anything. Just the way I said that was a bit wrong. Either way, we'll catch you guys in a bit. Don't go far. Welcome, everyone. We're into the first game here. A lot of pings on the Rift, but it looks like we're going for a standard 5-point on both sides. It's Clown Gaming on the blue side. It is TD Harmony on the red. I apologize, I was not set up to get team names and whatnot on overlay, but it's a scuff stream. It's a good time. We're here for the fun. We're here for the memes. And I can't tell which dragon is, but one of them's new. Or one of the new ones is up, and I only know that because the new ones don't have icons in Spectator yet for the objective timers. Good job, Ryan.
But if you go to the Dragon Pit, you can see it.
That's true. Someday. I just take every opportunity that I can to remind Riot that they don't care about Spectator. It's true. Oh, we have double Doran's Blades in the top lane, which is like expected for Trundle, but I don't think I've ever seen a Tahm Kench start Doran's Blade.
They are trying to throw hands in the top lane. Yes, sir. I respect that.
All right, that's very interesting. You know what else is interesting? We're gonna run into our mid lane extraordinaire for this one. Bring me in on the Electrocute Ignite Kassadin. Either sell me on it or completely throw your man under the bus. Your choice.
I am definitely throwing my man under the bus on this one. Let's just say that I do not see him proccing the Electrocute anytime soon. We're looking at maybe a level 6 at the earliest. Because I do not see that Orianna ever getting up into melee mode of the Kassadin, at least beforehand.
So already something interesting. We're seeing Amumu go from red straight to bot side. So that looks like it's going to be an early gank, whereas we see Vi going from red to Krugs, which I think is a super slow clear, and I don't think you should do that anymore. So
Yeah.
we'll see if Amumu decides to go mid or bot after this 2 camps real quick. He'll probably look bottom lane, I would assume. And there'll probably be some early action.
Mid doesn't really feel gankable for either side unless there's a pretty big wave crashing into tower. I agree with the Vi clear. Don't love it here. The only thought behind it really is just full clearing your jungle as fast as possible, but I feel like blue side starts better for that.
Okay,
Yep,
and
so
we have
we see,
a Vi in the mid lane, getting some free damage on the
Amumu
Orianna.
heading bottom lane. This is about to be a gank. Let's see what. Did he just miss it?
And he
Yeah.
missed Q.
Yeah. Oh, but he has a second. He missed
And he missed it as well. We have Happy Feet playing ADC this fine day.
Someone get this stretch. Amumu's ankles are currently on the ground.
Call the ambulance, but not for Jhin.
That does feel very rough, especially with the Morgana lane. Amumu Q's very telegraphed, easy to Black Shield. Doesn't have that ability, or elected not to take it here, level 2. So that felt like a one big gank window that the Amumu had and flew a little bit
So-
by the wayside.
The one bright side to this is that they had a big wave that they could have definitely chosen to try to freeze and force them to like face check the Amumu again. But the Amumu just walks away and they just push it in, so they get nothing out of that. Meanwhile, we see Vi taking the top Krug, so that's actually going to be huge.
Okay,
Vi
we are
actually
looking at a
took,
possible skirmish.
Yeah.
Actually, she took Raptors too. I didn't see that.
Oh,
Yeah, so
might
Vi's
be
going to be
face checking?
massively ahead.
Oh,
No, okay. They
oh
walked out
no.
of the bush too soon.
Vi is walking away.
Oh,
We are looking at a fight breaking out in the top lane, gentlemen.
yeah, it's going to be a 2v2 double. Knockup comes out, and the first blood will go over to King Khan, stacking up that acquired taste, but can they take this 2v2? Vino's very healthy and takes a chomp down onto the jungler. Tahm Kench versus Trundle, D-Blade versus D-Blade. The stun comes out from the lick, and that's a double kill over to the top laner of Clown Gaming. Huge
God.
pickup for your man in the top side.
Yeah, that's massive. The one bright side is that they did get the kill onto Trundle, which is going to scale, but this massive wave... Oh, he's not even going to freeze it. Wow. Okay, never mind. I think he definitely could have held that wave and punished even harder on that.
Well, the casters are outside the turret, but he's electing to just auto them down the whole way, so that's not going to freeze anytime soon. And Tahm Kench is probably going to have to use teleport to get back into wave. Trundle's a lot better at pushing those minions than he is, even with the AoE from his W. So rough time for King Kong, but maybe the idea is he wants the gold spike. What's he sitting on? 1730 right now, gonna base with about 1750. I don't feel like the gold difference from the minions makes something, but we'll see if there's a... I'm not a top laner. There might be a build I'm not thinking about. Dimandus mid lane is expected to be down, but oh, my breath is... Oh, the
that
Amumu
was-
lands out of
they
nowhere.
all somehow landed.
That was a bit of a snap right at the end to land
And
on.
also, they get a nice flash out from the Kassadin as well.
Flash gone,
Honestly,
crash the wave.
should not be too much of an issue since Kassadin is almost a level 6 and he will have a built-in blink on kit.
See a little bit of trading in the bot lane.
Quick trades for kills and wisdom. Very, very good. The elongated trades definitely going more towards the Jinx's way. So in and out is the way they want to
Vi's
play.
Currently counter jungling.
Wait, he tried to tower dive? Trundle took like 2 tower shots there, and King Kong's just going to get his 3rd kill.
Okay.
Did he like drop pillar and not know that takes turret aggro or something? I'm not sure what happened there, but
I was actually
big
not aware
misplay out of Vino.
it gave a turret aggro either, in all honesty. Okay, and here we have a Vi invading.
Gonna
We're
hit
looking at
I'm
a
just
possible
gonna
kill.
take my red buff while you kill. Okay,
Oh!
here we go.
Shockwave comes
I think
in,
he's still
trying to
dead,
save
for
his
sure.
jungler, lives for a
Oh,
bit,
that
but
is
Ginton
huge.
picks
Give
up
the double
a
to Kassadin.
kill. Double
Oh.
kill is
A double
given
kill.
over. Okay, it was a double kill for the top lane, and now a double kill for the mid lane of the solo laners for Clown Gaming. Absolutely being the beneficiaries of this early action.
It's looking like Clown Gaming just can't be beaten. I don't know. I don't know what Clown Gaming feeds these players, but you know, every Clown Gaming player is just better.
There's the electrocute. We hit level 6.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
We have gotten to the point. But realistically, yeah, we kind of expected this to happen when we talked about Clown Gaming to having these early skirmish advantages just with the amount of crowd control, if nothing else, that their team composition has. Now we have hit level 6 for a couple members of TD, but they're just not scaled up enough. They want to get to further points in the game. They want to hit to those team fight phases. And I will say, Clown Gaming probably should transition this priority into some objectives now that they've got a lead. That way they can give up things in the mid game if they need to.
We are looking at Vi sitting in a top lane bush looking for a possible gank, but
Yeah,
that's
and that's
not
really
possible since
interesting.
Kench is a bit pushed up, unfortunately.
It's a really interesting decision too because Vi hasn't taken her bot side in a long time.
Mumu in the bot lane looking for the Curse of the Sad
He's-
Mummy.
That was a great flash.
Very nice.
They might
time.
actually be able to
turn
trade
it
this back.
around. Don't
They,
think they have the damage. But Lulu ult's going to be popped just in case. Flash and heal. A lot of summoners being burnt for the gank that was started up by TD, and now the flash out. Bind lands onto the Mumu. Still not a lot of damage coming out of this double longsword. Jin, can they find enough? Can they get people low enough? The Mumu goes in, curse the Sad Mummy, but he's going to take a tower shot. Are they low enough? We're going to come with the curtain call. Lulu takes the first shot. Hit the Jinx, man. Third shot goes wide, and the fourth shot won't have enough damage, even though it lands. W! Oh, it
All I'm
hit!
gonna say is, if he had Dark Harvest, he would have got 2 kills there. All I'm gonna
That
say.
was sub 10 HP. Oh, Deadly Flourish, not enough to turn around, but a turnaround gank. 4 kills in Winston nets them a kill, nets them more summoners. Actually, no, it's not more even summoners if you count the jungler's flash. So
I definitely think you could see the desperation out of Red Team there, just to come in, and TD Harmony there just came in. They went for a gank, and they're like, we're gonna get Dragon or something off this. And when it went sideways, they were like, oh, we gotta force harder, and that's awful.
Yes, honestly, in my opinion, the Mumu held on to Leo for too long. At one point or another, when he missed the kill on Jin right before he flashed, he was definitely in a range to ult him right then and there. So that was honestly a pretty poor decision making, in my opinion. To hold on to it for so long.
Greed, but we're gonna see if he can staunch that greed. Beautiful pillar. And the thick skin won't be able to pop because of a nice time bandage toss. That's something back on the board. It's a shutdown over. Sadly for TD, it did go onto the jungler, however, and that feels like it stifles a bit of the excitement for making that play. Now we're going to see more action mid lane. Cassin can roam over first. Going to have the electrocute, going to have the ignite, and going to have his 3rd kill. Paco, you're being summoned in Twitch chat.
Hello, Paco, that is me. Yes, hello, Germ. How are you, amigo?
So we see the Rift Herald drop mid, and Cassidy doesn't take any of those plates.
And dudes,
Yo, if I was mid laner there, I'd be like, yo, give me them plates, yum yum.
Yeah. And dudes, you are being summoned in Twitch chat by a dear friend of ours who goes by the name Zerobi.
In that order, Induce. Oh, it's Roby. I read his message, and I'm not going to respond. He wants me to make an argument that I'm tired of making.
Yes.
Lethality, Xayah is bad. Run, or not lethality. Lethal tempo, run lethality.
We are looking at a fight breaking out in the bot lane, and they will be getting away.
Gets that flash and the wild growth off. Does have the curtain call, but currently the Jinx can block all the shots, so not going to see that one come out. Do spot the Amumu bottom side, so if King Kong thinks he wins the 1v1 with his mythic advantage, now would be the time to go for it. But I feel like Trundle with lethal tempo does do quite a bit of damage, even though he's down a significant portion of gold right now. About 300. Bandage toss. Gonna snap again. Curse the Sad Mummy in mid lane. Shockwave gets flashed away from... Wait. No, the Shockwave didn't go off.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Not go off.
Yeah, did I not see the animation? That was weird.
I didn't see it. That's why I was confused.
I did not see the animation. That and
okay.
Orianna was never in a range to begin with, so she was probably just holding on to it.
That should be a kill in the bot lane.
Yep, no flash, no heal, no way you're getting out of this. Kills, picks up his 2nd, not wanting to be outdone by his solo laners, and everything's going Clown Gaming's way. They got the Dragon, they got the Herald, they got the kills to boot. It's only putting themselves about 2,000 gold up, but at 13 minutes, feels like enough of the lead for this team to... Oh, it's not enough for them, however. Assault and Battery in the mid lane. There's the Shockwave finally. Pulls back the Kassadin, but that just means the Vi will take the kill. Jungler finally gets a piece of the pie with his first on the board.
Now, that's what we talked about, going mid. Once you hit 6 on Vi and just ulting the Orianna, and there it is. No, I'll play this. Point and click.
I'll play
No,
that.
no. The biggest thing though is like looking at the top lane, right? You see that the 3-1 Tom Kench, but he's still down almost over 20 CS, so that's a large amount of gold, and
There's
Trundle's only
a,
gonna outskill Tom Kench in the late game. So I think
there's,
if I'm on red side, I'm just gonna sit here and be like, okay, we need to get our Trundle even more ahead than whatever he is now, because he's down like 200 gold, which is insignificant in the long run. And let's get him a little lead, and if he can run over the side lane, then what can they do?
Do you think it's a situation where red team feels more pressure than they actually are? They just kind of hit tab, they see the 9-2, and they feel like they're in a rough spot,
Oh,
but
for
they're
sure.
not really
I-
pulling up and seeing like, okay,
Absolutely.
Orianna has 20 CS, Jinx has 10 CS, Trundle has 20 CS. Like, we're actually in a fine spot. We're going to get to a point in the game where we are the stronger team composition. Feels like, oh, Morgana took the
And
scuttle.
Morgana
Oh, that is
takes the
a
scuttle.
tilt flash if I've ever seen one.
Oh my
there you see it
lord.
right there.
And
Like I was
they will
saying, you
give 'em all.
definitely could see it before that too. Like that bot lane gank, that was frustration, that was desperation, right? Like they did the initial gank, they got the summoners, and then they were like, oh, we gotta get something, and they just like entered.
Oh, it's
And
another
that's
assault
the
and battery,
pressure.
and Mumu's here, but I don't know if it's enough. Shockwave doesn't go
Uh,
off. The cast time's too long. It's going to be the first kill over to, I believe, Vi picked it up, and Cassidy will grab the second.
Man, oh man.
Feels like the desperation is getting to TD Harmony. We want to let them know they can... Okay.
Well,
It looked like
ladies
I wasn't sure if I DC'd or Tom Kench DC'd or if it was just a minion thing.
and gentlemen.
See, but this is something we got to talk about. The comeback mechanic on the bounties here coming in with the new season.
Oh, yes, some I may call it the Bounty Boys.
Oh, Tom Kench is going to commit forward. Trundle might take this 1v1 down a Mythic, but the lethal tempo has been procced. That's a beautiful pillar. King Kong has to walk the whole way around it. The health is going low, but the shield is just too much. Trundle's just got 1.6 in his inventory right now. It's not doing him any good. Gets spit up, gets taken
my
down.
gosh.
The acquired taste, the W,
Oh.
not going to connect. Amumu's here, but the flash tongue lick. Auto attack will secure the kill. Amumu, I'm not sure if you win this. You are 3 levels down, and this is a very strong Timothy Kenchington. Needs to pop the shield, but he doesn't get it.
He does not get it
That's
off
a
in
kill
time, no
back.
sir.
All right, 1-for-1 in the top side. Again, Amumu getting the gold doesn't feel the greatest, but it's good for red team if they can keep their mental in this game. Second dragon going to spawn, and it will be blue team all over that objective. And by all
So
over,
it
I mean
looks
just
like
one
red
player.
team though is going to be trading it for that bounty on the Herald, which might be a little bit of help coming back into this game. It's definitely worth it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Grabs
it looks
that.
to me like the Cassidans at level 16. I kicked in a little early this fine day.
Look, we got to look at the bright side, okay? It's not going great for red team, but we have to at least, we have to talk about how they could possibly come back, maybe.
I mean, they're 3,500 gold down right now. If you can pop this Herald, get a turret and a bounty, you can come back into absolutely
For
fighting
sure.
distance. You can get this third dragon of the game, which is Mountain, which is just a huge Drake for team fight comps in general. It's not over for red team. Far from it, realistically. Morgana gets her
There's
second
so many
scuttle crab of the
TDs, right?
game.
From this point,
TD's red side.
from this
Yes.
point on TD side, they just need to stop the bleeding, and they need to get something like in return, right? Like they use this Herald, they got to get a tower even too with the bounties, and they're back in the game even.
Feel like Geodistic needs to be very flexible here. Find Vi on the map at any point in time, and if you just happen to be on the other side or close enough that you can make a cross-map play, go ahead and force the Herald down a lane. Top lane would be realistically ideal, but any
Looks
lane
like they're
to
bringing
get this
4 down
bounty.
ball lane though to drop this. They're definitely looking for something.
Wisdom does not have flash. Other than that, all summoners and abilities are up and available. More importantly than that, Vi is here. Chessie actually got spotted in the mid lane and gonna lose a portion of a wave to the tower there. Not much because mid outer has already fallen. Just keeping our eyes on these junglers. See where TD Harmony look to strike back. Herald's about halfway over. So you're going to have to use that sooner rather than later.
Okay, it looks to me like we're looking at a fight right now. Possibly a Trundle pick. There will be no Trundle pick. That's fine, ladies and gentlemen.
Not gonna happen. I'm not sure if Quinton didn't just want to overforce into that situation. Knew the Orianna was coming up. Had an inkling that the jungler might be around. Gets the ultimate, gets away. But looks like TD fancy themselves a fight. Oh, it's the Amumu E. That's what I thought was the Orianna Shockwave.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that a couple times, and I thought that was like his ult, but then I realized after, I was like, oh, that's not his ult.
Okay. Alright. Okay, we've solved the mystery. Now the next one on the table is what TD is going to be able to do. Pings go out onto the Vi, but I feel like she can make it out of this pretty scot-free with an easy blue buff steal.
Oh, this is so greedy.
Oh my goodness, goes in with the Assault and Battery, but you are 1v3. Even the Jhin ultimate would not be able to help you. You can flash away from Kassadin, but Kassadin's going to come right over that wall back at you. Vi actually lived with a flash over the wall. Geodistic's flash not going as planned, but he did get the entire mid tower. So that's tower gold plus bounty, keeping it close.
They're still down 4K though.
It's rough. It feels like to get these bounties and get these objectives, they're trading down in kills, which is kind of just keeping the kills or keeping the gold right where it's at. Now it's going to be King Kong taking out the tower, but I don't know if you win the 1v1. Does the lethal tempo
he wins
stacks
this with
go
Sunder
down?
100%.
Yeah, no, the Trundle, does he have enough space in the lane to walk him down?
there you
And he
go.
does. King Kong, third death of the game, and you can see he got a lead early in this top lane, but it's just not enough. The power of the Trundle 1v1 is coming through. Geodistic, you need to stay under your tower, my man. That Kassadin is massive. 2 items in tow and 1,600 gold when he goes back to base. The carries for Clown Gaming are massive. It's just a matter of whether TD Harmony can play around this Trundle split push or not.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I think that's their only avenue back into this game at this point. They need to stop dying to try to get gold and just try to play into this Trundle. And if he does keep going like this, Kassadin might
Teleport
not
into
even be
the
able to
bot
stop
lane.
him.
This is the play that TD Harmony is looking for. All 5 members into the bottom lane. If they can get this, they can grab a dragon. That's what they want. Here come the counter teleports. Vino's wrapped up. He's CC'd up. He flashes out before the wild growth can come down. Now the damage is going on to Geodistic, but a beautiful shockwave brings in the front line. Will the jungler go down? Lulu gets the first kill. Jinx goes excited. She's looking to pop off, but it's only 2
And we have the,
assists for
Kassadin
Slap That
around the
Ash,
corner.
and now Kassadin comes in, gets one, gets blown up. It's kill positive for TD Harmony, but their health bars are very low. Curtain call, 1-2. Too many healthy members going to be able to block up the shot. Geodistic walks out. If they can convert this into a dragon, grab the bounty, this is a huge win for TD Harmony, and you're seeing that team fight prowess come out of this composition.
That is a very big win in my eyes. They got the extra time from the Kassadin, who was 7-0 prior to this.
Oh,
my goodness, he stole it with the trap!
Oh my god.
Oh no, the
The
smite
mental's gone.
comes
The
out
mental's
and
gone.
leaves it at 2 HP. Oh no, tragedy for TD Harmony. They still close the gold gap, but giving over Soul Point is such a massive blunder for this team.
So I'm curious, Paco. I know you have a lot of experience with like dragon steals like that happening while you're on the team. What
Totally.
it goes to your head in those situations when your jungler just misses the easiest smite of his life and loses it to something like a Gen Trap?
It is.
This feels
It is it is an absolute tragedy. I'll let you say. But as a professional dragon stealer myself, all I know is that a lot of times when junglers are under the dragon pit or Baron pit, whichever the case may be, a lot of times they will be filled with pressure, from the fear of getting getting roasted by their team for getting outsmited. And in this case, I do not blame TD if they were roasting the poor Mumu.
Feels a bit rough for the red team. They got a bounty down in the bottom lane while all of this was unfolding, but it was traded back for a mid lane tower and a kill. So again, feels like they have to give up too much to grab these bounties on the map. That being said, I feel like you go back a couple patches, objective bounties aren't in the game. This looks like a 6-7k gold lead for Blue Team.
Easily the game is over.
Right?
Absolutely. Right here.
They're starting Baron.
Wait, they are doing Baron.
Wait, they're
This is a
doing
good
Baron.
call. This is a
Can
good
Cloud
call.
Gaming get here? It's 8k.
Because Jhin and Morgana
no
are balling and
has
ready to
just
recall in.
recalled. TP comes out, but where is the team, TD? You got to be on the same
man.
page. The Baron executes
no.
Chess Yi. Everything that could possibly be going wrong is going wrong.
If I'm Blue Team right now, I'm calling Baron. Let's do it. Oh, they're
Ooh,
running
they
it down.
want the kills.
That is a
the
great Tom
triple knock-up was disgusting. Kassadin's going to get 2. Tom Kench picks up the 3rd for his setup. And you have to think that is the final nail in the coffin. That's going to be Baron buff. That'll lead into a Mountain Soul, and that should be everything Cloud Gaming need to tie this game up into a very nice bow.
And the most disturbing part to me is it felt like the entire game that TD just had no idea how they could play towards their strength of the Trundle. And you even see him here, he built a Hull Breaker, but then he's constantly trying to team fight. You literally just wasted all your gold. I really just don't understand what their thought process is.
Bit difficult.
Absolutely.
Feels like, to me, looking at this game, and obviously I have no insight knowledge realistically of either of these teams. Vi needed the red.
She needed the health regen.
Me looking at TD Harmonics as we're gonna see a Chess Yi disappear from our screen here real quickly. It feels like they're just struggling with multiple shot callers on the team of some sort because they feel like they're being pulled in multiple directions. Geodistic feels like he wants to play the game a very specific way. It feels like jungle or mid AD carry are both kind of fine to play the scaling. Chess Yi is obviously taking a beating this game, but he's still out CSing even though he has died 7 times. Flash forward. Cloud Gaming are just trying to end the game here with this assault battery onto the support. That was a lot for a Lulu. Vino wants to win this 1v1. It's pretty much all his champion does at this point in time. Holding on to the shield is King Kong. Pops it now, but I don't think you can make it matter. Oh, the Baron minions make the difference! Vino taken down in the 1v1. And that's
all I'm
it.
saying is Wisdom just stole my kill. I mean, that AD carry's kill. And...
You were definitely going to hit it, I believe. 27 minutes. The gold finally hits a sizable amount. Thank you, objective bounties. It's going to be a 1k gold lead at 27 minutes. No soul needed, just a quick Baron capture. Puts Cloud Gaming with a victory in the first game. I believe these are just best of ones, right? We're doing back-to-back best of ones?
Oh, yes. Yes, they are best of ones. Okay, all right, and that will conclude our first game.
We are doing one more best of one after this, so don't go anywhere, folks. I'm going to keep, once the client loads, I'm going to show some stats on screen, so stick around for that, and then we will be back when Game 2 draft starts. Get a grab, grab a snack, get something to drink. We'll be back soon. And although can't blame them for the Yone ban, that champion just feels actually unplayable to play against. It is a bit of a monster right now with lethal tempo in its current state.
It's a bit of a minor inconvenience, as some may call it around these parts.
So it looks like we're gonna see another early Trundle pick. Okay.
This one's blind and Tahm Kench is off the board, so King Kong's gonna have to have something different up his pocket. And
If they're gonna pick Leona here, I want to see the MF. Otherwise, I don't know if it's worth it. Well, maybe.
strong one too. It's blind, so there are options to counter pick. Things like Thresh, if you're familiar with the matchup, can go good into Leona, and pretty much any
Alistar as well.
AD carry that doesn't get absolutely range gapped by Misfortune is decent as long as the support's a good counter pick. So there's options. Whoa, that's not Misfortune. That's
Oh no.
a lot more risk.
That's him.
I don't like that.
You don't like
I
the
wouldn't do
blindness,
that.
or- I also wouldn't do that if it makes it
And I'm a
better.
Giga Chad Samira player. Oh no.
I'm also Samira gamer on my end. That is pretty ballsy, as I may say.
I mean, it all comes down to how BD punish it. I think Samira is so punishable if she blind pick her like that. You just pick point and click CC, you punish her in lane with something like Caitlyn, and she's literally useless.
Oh, and there's a Caitlyn.
Oh, it's not looking good. And if you want the easy CC, you can grab the Alistar, just like you said. Easy interrupts on the Samira, 3 forms of CC there. Good into the Leona as well, able to headbutt out of the Zenith, and could be an... I think there's a lot of options here for support, to be honest. So Clown Gaming kind of putting the onus on them to already outplay just by the champions they have picked here. Maybe just feeling good from game one, but I think from us looking at game one from a spectator perspective, there were a lot of times for TD to come back into the game. Now, I feel like at every turn, Clown Gaming did have the better of their number, and that was hard for them. Xerath being hovered. If they really want to poke out the Samira and make her hate life, that can go into the support position, but I don't know these players well enough to know where that's going.
I do not think that will be as made, as somebody who knows them. So I do have a very good feeling it is say Xerath in the support line.
So that lane definitely can poke out the Samira and punish her hard, but there's also a lot of kill potential for Leona and Samira there. And if Samira gets snowballing, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah, I feel like you already had damage from the Caitlyn. Maybe going something just easier lockdown, even an enchanter to really slam the door on her, like a Lulu or Karma, could have felt better than the artillery mage in the bot lane.
Right, and we have a Dr. Mundo on a third pick.
That seems odd. I feel like when Trundle is shown so early, you really don't want to be picking these big, beefy tanks. I think it's better that they have more than one of them, but those are just a lot of stats for the Trundle to take away.
And that's actually what I was talking about when I said when you see that Trundle and you pick Leona, like you better be hoping that it's for like a lane. And I guess it is a lane for Samira, but yeah, we'll see. I'm really not sure about the Xerath pick though. I'm still questioning.
I'm still highly. I'm definitely watching for Xerath support. As far as how well it will work, well, we will have to see in game for that.
Yeah.
All right,
I
and
agree
looks like
Oh, go ahead.
oh, and it looks like we have another mid lane ban as well.
Skarner mid lane going to be taken off the table. That's practically 5 mid bans. Now, obviously that one going
Skarner
towards the
mid
jungle. Only 4 mid bans here for Clown Gaming. We're respectable members. We can't 5 ban a single person. Only 4 bans there. I do agree with Paco. I think when you ban Yone, Yasuo, Echo, you're not really expecting the guy to go ahead and pick up a Xerath as his 4th pick. So more than likely that is headed down into the bot lane. And we're going to reserve judgment on that. I feel like it exemplifies the strengths, but doesn't really cover any of the weaknesses of the Caitlyn. So a bit scary there. Gives Clown Gaming maybe an angle back in, but maybe a jungle pick could also kind of make us feel better about this Clown Gaming roster, something that really spam ganks. The Vi is up and is not one of the return bans coming in from game 1, so we could see that just ran back if that's the idea, and we could get it's into another arcane AD carry. It just makes sense at this point, really.
That's gonna be the Nocturne, yeah.
Okay, it does the same thing but from longer away.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on Nocturne as a pick. I feel like you go tank, you don't do very much damage, and you're useless, and you view Assassin, you just get one shot, useless.
I feel like it's only good if it snowballs is my problem with it.
Yeah, same here.
And if you stall the game out, it's gonna fall off regardless of if you snowball or not.
Very true. Defensive items
So-
are generally aplenty with Crown and Zhonya's running around as well. AD carries seem to be your big target, but whoa, okay.
All right.
Maybe that's an
So-
indication of why they have to run Xerath if they can pretty much only play
Yeah,
AD's mid.
I was gonna say that's another strength of the Xerath pick, I guess, is that they can open up an AD mid laner.
Yes, and 80 millers are definitely high up there in terms of strength. Definitely the milliners are preferred playstyle from what I have seen.
Not really a big fan of the Zed pick though.
I feel
I
like
think
it
they could've
doesn't have a
done
great
better.
target thus far.
Yeah,
in the draft.
exactly.
Now mid lane is left to pick for Clown Gaming. Maybe the idea is that Zed shuts down certain picks that G-Tom would be looking for. But that remains to be seen, and looks like the Trundle.
Knowing his champ pool, I'm gonna make a prediction here. I think he's gonna go Lisson. I'm just worried they don't have enough damage.
I am also worried about that, but ish.
See, if that was me right here, I'd be picking Zillion because I'm a Chad. But
I think I think
You're right,
personally I
Zillion
would.
brings a lot more damage.
yeah. No, but yeah, we'll see what he picks. Yeah,
What?
Lissandra.
Okay.
Nah, they're just in stream baiting us. They're baiting us.
Hey now, I don't think it's the worst pick in the world. Definitely,
It's a
lock
good
up
match.
for
It's
the
a
Zed
very
for the
good
commit.
matchup against the Zed. Yes, exactly. And that's why
That's a good matchup. Yep.
But yeah, dude, imagine this team comp if they had a MF though, and like this thing. A little bit better.
Absolutely.
But more susceptible to Zed, so maybe they
True.
were 5-head.
Possibly. I do worry, even if it's not the misfortune for the Samira, because if you look at the Clown Gaming lineup, if you go into a team fight as Zed, you are not ulting anyone except for the Samira, realistically. So you're going to have to deal with that. Your Winwell's going to have to be on point to block some shurikens, and you're going to need enough people around you to layer the CC. And still got Camille running around as well with hook shots aplenty. There's a lot of things that could go wrong for kills this game, but I do feel like we thought he was a very solid performer. A couple 2v3s turned around in the bot lane last game, so maybe just feeling themselves here.
That's what it's definitely looking like. This is definitely a lane that can snowball out of control for the Leona and the Samira if they get an early kill. And, Trundle doesn't have a lot of pressure early game, to be honest. If you ward like diligently and you don't get caught with no vision, you really can't do that much. So if they can start snowballing hard, it could be really bad for BDE.
I think it's especially scary at that level 6 point. Pre-6, the Leona Zenith Blades, it almost... Caitlyn and Xerath realistically can stay away from that for the most part in lane phase. Really, the Solar Flare plus the Nocturne ult coming over top Paranoia will be the big things that the Caitlyn Xerath duo needs to be wary of. That's going to be a big point of note. Outside of that, Camille and Amundo does not feel like a good matchup for me, but I don't know top lane well enough. Either you want to chime in on that one?
I honestly feel like Mundo should be able to just farm safely from a distance, as long as he's not like too like lined up too close to the walls. I feel.
Yeah,
That-
I think it's going to be kind of similar to last game, but I would say even more. Mundo is going to win early game, but if Camille can stay even in the lane, I think she'll take over later.
Yeah.
Is my assumption on it.
I honestly feel Camille's is what you would call a ticking time bomb.
Where do we think the Trundle fits into all of this? Because we talked about it early, the B1 pick. We're not necessarily sure if it was a flex for this team, but it did end up into the jungle. And in my opinion, maybe this is a spicy opinion, but in my opinion, jungle is its weakest role right now. It doesn't feel like it ganks as good as the other junglers, doesn't feel like it clears as good as the other junglers. And so my thought here is that maybe just the flex pick ended up being dumped onto the jungler. What do we think the Trundle can get done here?
I generally feel in a team fight, he'll probably end up just soaking all of the CC from the Leona and the Alessandra. Like ultimately, I'll leave his a team to just run around and do as they please. I once again, that is my theory, given that I ends up taking the I ends up ulting the Dr. Mundo at the very least. What time is it? The game is currently loading in. We are 35 seconds in.
Are you talking to me? Somebody that's in the lobby with us?
Somebody in chat, yeah. Somebody in chat.
Mm.
The game is gonna load. It's gonna load up soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna rant actually. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I play in gold leagues and I constantly see like constant like prio on Trundle and I just don't understand. My only assumption is that like because people tend in these leagues to play a lot of like tanks, that it's like considered just a generally good like pick because you can just like beat down tanks, you know. But I get so frustrated because I think it's so punishable if you can play around it as a team. Like you draft like minimal tanks, you draft more bruisers, like you can just crush them instead of just drafting like not everyone has a Batman who plays Sejuani like 24/7. You know what I mean?
The Batman classic.
Yeah, but I just constantly see early pick Trundles, and I'm like, that's someone's pocket pick, go for it. But a lot of times it's just like a go-to, and I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I honestly I just feel it is either to the same reason that you brought up, that people a lot of times I would just default to a jungle and top laner tanks and whatnot, since who knows, I'll just like to leave their mid laners and their ADCs to be the carries. Here, let's see. Isodex said in chat, Trundle flex OP. Okay, yeah, gentlemen. So it was a flex.
I don't know. I have weird feelings about Trundle as a flex here because I think it's good into Mundo and I think it's good into Leona Samira. So my question is, if it's a flex pick, why wasn't it flexed? Because I don't know what it does in the jungle. I'm pretty down on Trundle jungle though, so maybe that is just a personal bias. I think there's just much better junglers, and it works fine into both the lanes that you could flex in. To be fair, I don't know much about the top lane. I just assume Trundle wins most 1v1s because it's Trundle with lethal tempo, and that shit is broken.
You're overestimating the ability of Dr. Mundo to stat check any enemy top laner into losing.
Very well could be. Very well could be. All right, one more minute here on the spectator clock. And it was a very quick intermission. We're already flying into game here, and we can see 4 people running straight down mid, but that's going to get found out. Oh, flash!
Oh
my god, they already got it.
He has no flash. He took
that was a quick. I don't know if they knew that off the bat, but that was a quick decision on he has no flash because a lot of teams would struggle with that.
If that was, I will give benefit of the doubt that was like the one person without flash, and so you just skill the stun and go there. Sadly, I didn't have camera on the support, so I didn't see the skill lockup. But that is a very nice pickup. Can we get over to the Camille? Basis for a longsword on top of the corrupting potion might be quite swingy in this matchup.
It's one of the champions that should not be getting any kills whatsoever.
Yeah, and especially with the way that I'm assuming that Clown wants to play this game, where they snowball through mid and bot, and just leaving top lane to kind of do his thing up top. This is not a good start.
Not great whatsoever. We do have to caveat with the fact that Killbot did expend Flash and Exhaust for it, so that flippy nature of the bot lane with Leona Samira here could be seen to put effect down in the bot
So now
side.
you brought it up earlier, and I want to talk about it while we're laning. What do you think of Fleet Footwear, Caitlyn?
I don't think it's like a bad rune. I actually think it's underutilized in well, I thought it was underutilized in general. Maybe just in my elo it is. Because I feel like it gets some AD carries out of a lot of spots that they find themselves in. But I don't like it in this situation because I think if you ever die in this lane, you are dying 100-0, and Fleet is just movement speed at that point. I think if you want to play towards pushing this Samira down, you can run things like press, you can run things... Take a Dark Harvest, dude. I really don't care. Like, really put her down. It's just a rune at the end of the... you probably need to stay in the precision tree. Trundle gank in the top lane, going to blow the HP orb.
And Flash, that's the worst.
Oh, didn't even need a follow Flash. That is very rough. Very far forward. Zenith Blade, massive damage. No Flash, no Exhaust. All kills, doesn't step on the trap. The arm time was just long enough for the Samira to get out. Double Flash. Root's going to come in. Flash forward to combo the CC. Cleanse wasn't enough. 2 kills over to kills.
And we're seeing exactly what we were talking about when we talked about the Xerath pick and how it has the same upside as other champions would, but it has way more downside where it's, this lane can be snowballed super hard, whereas he played something safer. You can do the same exact thing that Xerath's doing, maybe not as strong, but you won't snowball an entire lane like this.
Scary, scary news for the BDE bot lane. Now, good news for them is that was kills Flash, was the Ignite, was the heal. So 3 summoners off the bottom lane. Bad news, they are down quite a large amount of combat stats, and Killbot still with some time missing on that Flash. So there's pretty big windows for this bot lane to be aggressive. You see junglers holding the lanes mid on both sides. That Zed needed the early recall. Surprisingly went for another longsword rather than getting any sort of defensive itemization, whether that be a Doran shield or even just a refillable potion. Just the one red pot in his back pocket. Top lane's going fairly well for King Kong, by the way. The Mundo, not bad here in the early levels. Up CS, even though down a lot of kills.
Okay, and Nocturne is currently being counter-jungled.
Yeah, it's going to be the Glacial onto the Nocturne, which will reduce the damage the Ignite's ticking. No Flash cost him a kill level 1, but the Ignite grabs him a kill while being invaded here.
And they're looking for the Trundle pick down in the river.
Zenith Blade onto him, very squishy with the Glacial Augment in the jungle. Now Leona's walking forward. The Samira with all that early kills will go forward.
It seems like they got the Caitlyn Flash out as well.
Oh, that was actually really clean out of Wily.
That was slick.
That was very quick. Hard for King Kong to react to, and even if he could react to it, no Flash from earlier. Solo kill up in the top. Zenith going to be going on, but can Samira get in range? Yes, she can. Knocks up further. Canes the CC going on a rampage. Flash forward from Wisdom. It's another double kill. This Samira that we were so scared of getting countered is 4-0 because they found 2 flips and got the better of both of them. Clown Gaming bot lane showing up huge.
Yes, once again, he is showing them how he got the name Kills.
Once again, he's showing them why you don't pick Xerath. I'm still mad about that. No, I'm happy. We're rooting for Clown Gaming. Good job, guys. Good
I'm also rooting.
So this game is already starting to look like a lot like the last game we watched with Clown Gaming, where their top laner needs to just stay alive and just scale this out and let their bot lane and mid lane and jungler run this game over.
Does look like that's going to be the plan. I worry because last time we had the Tahm Kench that got some early jungle attention, got some early jungle love, and had some kills to keep himself in that lane. This time it's quite the opposite. Paranoia onto the bot side. They're just not leaving these champions alone. Fear is going to proc. Kills will get in. Say thank you very much. I did all the work. I'll take the kill as well. Didn't even need to wait for the solar flare. Paranoia is enough to get into the bot side and grab a kill onto the flashless target. Very importantly, they went onto the target with no cleanse. Gonna be looking up top. That Hextech ultimatum is gonna lock Mundo in place, but King Kong's underneath his tower.
Wait,
taking
don't
two
chase that.
tower
No, no,
shops,
no.
has Yanks.
He is.
I'm coaching from the stream. Don't chase that. No, no, no.
Unable to lock anyone. Zed goes forward. Camille as well. Okay. Jitan, you can see, is very low on your screen, but no death mark going to be used while the Frozen Tomb is still available. I think Lissandra wasn't aware of the summoners on Trisco because you can see the Flashing Knight are just barely coming off cooldown. If he knew for sure those were down, maybe that's a 1v1 he takes. But I have to imagine the Lissandra matchup's difficult because I assume Zed can ult the ult. That is my assumption of the matchup.
I
Is it
don't think so.
really?
So-
You don't think the cast time is long enough?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe. But
Keep our
I
eyes
think it
on
was the right decision not to try to force that because Lissandra does not need to carry this game, right? Like coin flipping that fight is not worth it in the long run when you have a bot lane that, you know, your AD carries 5-0 at 8.5 minutes. Like just take the trade, leave, reset, play for team fights.
Jitan doing well in the mid lane, keeping even on CS. They're setting up a bit of a bush trap. I don't know if they're going to find a jungler or a support, but they're going to one-shot anyone right now. Kills going towards his Immortal Shield bow, but they're not going to find anyone. They're just going to have to back away. Their jungler is on the top side of the map, so maybe it's something that they either feel they can... Oh, the Deathmark's going to come out. Lissandra self-ults, but Paranoia is close. You can't flash away from that. Fear going deep under tower, trades the 1-for-1, gets the assist, gets the push in. Doesn't feel great as the jungler, but Jitan is thanking him because he's going to get more experience. He's going to get a plate to himself. Oh, plate actually doesn't come through as it's Yanks to find onto Lissandra. No claw.
Yeah.
Get her to safety yet. She's going to be able to walk that one out.
He will be fine.
Not sure if Leona's spot... Yeah, Leona was spotted moving there, so that's why you can see Killbot very fine to move forward. I think with the ultimate, Kills kind of fancies himself and outplays. Wouldn't be up this far if he didn't think he could, but mid lane's where the action's at. Zenith Blade is in, but no big ults. Right at the arcane bot lane, and you can't win while that kills you, greedy boy, with flash and heal up. Dies 1v2 in the bot lane. It's not what you want to see out of your 5-0 AD carry.
Yeah, that's what happens when Leona leaves.
Whoa! Flash
unfortunately.
Zenith
Ooh.
has
Oh.
nothing to get on top of him, sadly. Wisdom wanting to make their own work because his AD carry paid for it in the bot lane, but just not able to find anything. And now you've blown Flash and you've blown Solar Flare. You can't really return bot lane at this mana pool with nothing to have. Flash forward, Gitan fancies himself the flip on that one, gets the easy one shot. That's a kill for the mid laner.
Yeah, if I'm kills right now, I would have been saying, don't leave my lane. We're winning this. We're gonna run it down on them. Like, don't gank mid, come by. You know what I mean? I'm not really sure why they're trying to force a mid. I don't think they need to, but maybe I'm also just a really greedy player. I don't know. I think.
You're definitely a greedy player.
In my experience / opinion, I'm going to hold my breath. We've got Paranoia available in the top side. Yanks is close too. So it might be something where King Kong's going to try and bait out the fight. But I think they know Nocturne is close as the Blast Cone goes, so it should be safe to make this point. I feel like it's fine to run it down a single lane for the first 14 minutes of the game. I think if there's plates up in the lane, run it down that lane. It's worth it. Oh, Paranoia is going to come out underneath the tower. Spell Shield
This
gets
is so
nothing,
overforced.
and oh, that's a rough one to watch.
Oh wait. Oh. Okay.
Has to
I thought
pop
the
ulti.
Herald charge was gonna knock him into the Mundo to get the kill, but he didn't have enough.
Casimir.
Not quite on that one. So low HP bars and a Herald crashed into the top lane tower, but all in all, can't feel too bad if you're BDE with that slightly donated kill.
Yeah, in the early game was
Shield bow
looking so
on the
good for
Nocturne.
Clown, but if we look now, it's
Oh,
dead
there's
even
the solar
game.
flare. Killbot has flash. Can he get away from this? Exhaust is down. Wants to trade the damage. Gets his combo before he flashes, but that's a nice dash
One
in.
more?
Needs to hit the S rank. The Rite of the Arcane not going to be even needed. That's Vargar with the first kill and a flash Q. Ho ho ho. It goes from bad to worse in the bot lane. Up a mythic and can't make the 2v2 count.
And what you saw there was just not being able to hit the W on the Xerath stun, and once that happens, you just got locked on and killed.
Actually, let's see. Even though it has been the Samira with the pressure in the lane, you can see the turret for BDE. I'm going to hold my breath as we got a lot going on in mid lane. Oh my goodness, G-Tom just got exploded there with the death mark. Clown Gaming falling apart here as we're transitioning to the mid game. Feels like they just felt ahead and thought their opponents weren't going to do much about it, but BDE are fighting back on all fronts. The Camille's getting involved on the map, spreading that wealth all around. Now it's Zed with 3 kills. The Trundle has been looking pretty good, and give credit where credit's due. I was curious if he was going to go a pretty tanky build, considering he feels like a solo frontliner this game, but it's T-Mat plus the Divines under, so no tank stats for this boy. He's going to take all he needs from his enemies. Now they're going to try and bait Kills and Winstone into another 2v2. Said, hey guys, last time was just bad luck. You can get us this time. We've got friends in our pocket. Not going to happen. Dragon in 4 minutes. They got to get back to their respective lanes and collect some farm. Actually, a really nice play. I don't see enough gold teams doing this where mid and top laners feel... Oh, ultimatum in the mid lane. Paranoia in the bot lane. Who's going to come down first? Fear will go on to the Caitlyn. Vargar's going to be taken down. And Killbot not far behind. We finally hit that S rank. We finally got the Inferno trigger. Gets the flash out of Yanks, but the damage is already done. Gank in the bot lane, superior to the counter gank. They should be able to grab a full tower here now that plates have fallen.
See, the top lane tower is almost falling as well.
A lot of gold if you can convert on both of those. King Kong just been sitting in the lane, even though he's down 2 deaths to 3 kills of Wily. See, the experience is fairly similar as they're just well, Wily's spent more time roaming on the map trying to help his team. King Kong might just walk up. He's got the flash, he's got the ult. Should know that Wily doesn't have either of those. Really can just greed for the tower if he wants to do so.
Just on the Sandra.
Ooh, could be another 1v1. Frozen Tomb comes out before the death
Still
mark.
has all
And the
early
Rite of the
flash.
Arcane is here. Oh, I don't think any of the shurikens hit. Yeah, Gitan gonna live that
he
one.
Kills them anyway.
This
That's
can be a
actually
kill
spread.
too. Oh, he already uses Xerath blade. Never mind.
Not gonna find that convert there. Nocturne has no paranoia. I don't think he wins the 1v1. He's just planning on having teammates. Press the attack was procced and got a nice chunk. Now it's a 3v3. Mundo's going to walk over and make it a 3v4. Turret in the top lane did go down. Paranoia out on to Killbot. Stopwatch going to buy some time, but 4 members are close. And that's a death for the support. Xerath not really having the room that he wants to work with. Just getting jumped on at every turn of the clock.
And this has
There's
been a
30 seconds till Rift Herald, guys. What are you doing?
extremely bloody game. Extremely. And it's crazy because, you know, one side is like, looks like they're just like hard winning, and then it's like they make a bad play or the enemy team makes a good play, and then it just completely switches. And it switched 3 times already, right? Like, you know, Kills was 5-0 bot lane running it down, and then he just, you know, disrespects the 2v1 and dies, and then they catch a big pick mid, and then it switched back there. So we'll see.
Still up in the air, dragging a piece each way. We do have the Infernal Soul. It's double Rift Heralds over to Clown Gaming. Now, last time we did have a bit of a lost mine situation with the jungler at the Herald incident. Hopefully not going to happen this time. And we've got 1 outer tower for that Herald to take down. A very important one in the mid lane. So that's an easy target. Transfer that right into the dragon that's spawning. And Clown Gaming should have tempo advantage on the map right now.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
say they
Samira
should
might
gain
face
it.
check here. That's the dangerous part. Oh, yeah, that's it.
Oh, bad flash. Gonna have to commit
Oh.
and will not have the sustain to get through this. The Inferno trigger is not enough.
But
Now the Goon Squad is here for Clown Gaming. They do have more members. Caitlyn was mid and the damage might be done. Flash forward. Cleaver connects and it's a triple kill for King Kong. Out of absolutely nowhere, the top laner comes up huge with 3 kills, right? The Arcane is popped, but nowhere near close enough to even attempt stealing this dragon. It's going to be the convert over to Clown Gaming. It's going to be the dragon. I assume Herald will be popped mid as well to grab that tower.
Recall has been canceled.
I'm still baffled the fact that somebody can pick Samira like red side first 2 and not have literally any way to deal with them. I don't know.
Oh,
Like, they have
flash
oh?
forward out of Wily. Does still have the ultimatum. Gonna try and get at least 1 kill out of this, but might have greeted his ulti. No one's in range now after that fear. Wily wanted to pick up both kills, but in greeting so loses both.
I honestly feel like he overestimated the range of his stun, since he was just barely off from it.
Very unfortunate there. So just to zoom in a little bit on this point that you want to talk about, do you feel like the Caitlyn is a fine pick if paired with something else? Because that was my assumption during draft.
Yes, I think it's
okay.
a fine pick to bully the lane, right? Samira's low range, Caitlyn can punish her. The problem is you have a Xerath, which does the same thing, but you're opening yourself up to so much vulnerability and just getting all in, like we saw happen. The issue is, like, first of all, I want to talk about fleet footwork. I don't see why you need it in that lane. We talked about that. Anything would be better. And then on top of that, their mid lane has no lockdown. Trundle, not really. They first picked that. The only lockdown you have is the stun, Zed killing her, and Hextech ultimatum. That's it. And the stun, I guess. But if she gets caught by the stun, she's not playing correctly. From the Camille. So.
Okay, it looks like we have a Leona catch.
Oh, Zenith Blade's actually going to go in.
They
They're going
can
to try to
try
turn this with King Kong and with the Paranoia. Wisdom will go down, but has he started off a good fight? Both AD carries are about to enter. Oh, Samira's getting picked on, but will the Inferno trigger be enough? The healing, the shielding, it's not enough. And they can't even pick up Yanks on the other side. So far, it's BDE favored, but can Clown Gaming run down any of these kills? No, it's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of BDE. But the health bar advantage is sticking with Clown Gaming. I just don't think they can get anything with it, sadly. So, trading up in gold. BDE still very close this game. How do we feel about? I
Yeah.
think the inventories look very funny on the BDE side. Just the copycat builds at the top. I just want to point it out. I think it's really funny. Time out.
Yeah, but Camille has 2 pink. Okay, never mind. She just dropped one. Never mind. I was gonna say she's better because she has 2 pink wards. And if I've learned anything from top lane, is you're just supposed to buy the pink wards. You're not supposed to drop them.
You're not supposed to use them.
Wait, was that stream on Clown Gaming, or was that the other stream? Okay.
That was Clown Gaming. He had it in his inventory for like 14 minutes.
Oh no, I
I'm
timed it. It was like 19.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was like 19 minutes almost.
And then didn't he just like sell it too?
No, he put it down. I zoomed in and out on it. I did my producer duties on that one. Minute on Dragon. This game feels weird because I don't know if you guys have the similar sentiment, but I feel like every team fight we've gone into the past 5 minutes, regardless of what happened the first 15, Clown Gaming just seems to be winning, so they feel like they're just advantageous, but a fight's gonna break out and a jungler's gonna die 43 seconds before Dragon. If you weren't gonna give that one up already, I think you are now.
It's gone now. Just pray that your Camille can get the top lane tower.
30 seconds on the
We
drag,
might
so
see
wanna
Clown
do
Gaming
more.
dive here.
I feel like diving's a bit rough, and you don't have much of a wave. That's shield bow proc is actually kind of huge. Paranoia, bot lane is interesting. I don't know if that was just no, he was in a 1v1. The Zed flashed away, possibly denying vision of that. Camille does get top side. It's answered mid, and now they will run back to the dragon. I like King Kong recalling here. Oh. Okay. Gets out scot-free there. Right, the arcane gonna be popped. Side steps galore for the... Okay, someone tell me how to say the jungler's name, because I'm not mispronouncing that weeb shit.
I'm not either.
Paco, you're up. We believe in you.
No, no, don't do this to me. I'm not doing this. I don't want to let down my fellow weebs out there.
Okay, this is Paco, aka Diamond, is pronouncing this. So if you want to send hate, send it directly to his email at paco@clowngaming.org. Go ahead and pronounce it.
I'm not doing this.
So I'm curious. I'm curious, like what the. I'm curious what the mentality of BDE is right now, like, because you know when you're watching a game, you know, you see all the gold numbers, you see everything, right? There's a common misconception, people are like, that looks so stupid, but when if you actually like in the moment, like you had a different idea of what was going on, etc. I'm curious what how they feel about the game state right now, because sometimes in these games the gold's only 1.5. You know, sometimes you feel like you're winning or you're behind, or you feel like, you know, we're behind but we're definitely can fight this. I'm just curious what they probably think at this point.
I honestly feel like they're probably just doing the classic, and Press haven't seen that they're only 4 kills behind, so they're probably assuming that so like they're under the assumption they're still in the game, in which they definitely are by all means.
Looks like we're seeing a little Baron play here, but they're countering it by pushing bottom. I don't even think they get inhib though.
No, they definitely don't. With the teleport coming out, they might not even get this tower. I don't know if Mundo can clear the wave. 3 of them's a lot. Yeah, they're actually gonna back out. It's gonna be 1 inner tower for Baron. That's a big trade up for Clown Gaming.
Oh, it's a trade deal. You get Baron, we get tower.
We take your next.
What's rough is the gold is so close they don't even have bounties on it. Like,
yeah,
it might actually be better for them if they were further down in some of these situations, because they've managed to grab themselves a healthy number of towers. It's what's keeping the gold close, but they haven't had that swing from the bounty system because they've been pretty much close all game long. Just feels like the gold's so spread out. I don't know. Certain teams that I have coached or played on have had this problem where if one person is not clearly ahead, they don't have like a clear goal in mind, right? Like if the AD carry is fed, the AD carry will like shot call and tell the team what he needs to succeed. And same for the jungler or top laner. But when everyone has the gold split like this, it can sometimes be very confusing of what you need to play around. Looks like Wiley's looking for a pick. They're going to get the self-frozen tomb and the Zhonya's. Can the mid laner buy enough time? Samir's getting jumped on, but the assassin's going to go dead. The Inferno Drago pops, but it's not enough to keep Samira alive. She will go down, but the damage seems to already be done. It's only one left on BDE, and this is a 3v5 that Clown Gaming just won.
What a cool passive Lissandra has.
I mean, you saw them go in and try to just kill Lissandra, and she's like, I have 3 invulnerabilities, good luck. She just needed a stopwatch on top, and that would have been... I actually think Kills kind of misplayed that a lot in that fight, and it still didn't matter.
Yeah, Samir.
So...
Bit rough.
I feel like they're going for... I don't think they can.
They
get a tower.
No, they can't. Get one tower. That inhibitor shouldn't...
I like that.
I think you might not take that in the future, Gintan, but you're going to go down. Maybe King Kong can get the kill back. Does have flash. We'll see if he decides to expend it here. Oh!
So the bounties did kick in off all that, but there's really nothing they can do to get a bounty here.
I think
they have to win a team
spawns
fight.
with them. They have to win there. Pretty much. Now you can see King Kong trying to bait them in. 1v3 is going to turn into a 3v3. Let's see if Kills can redeem himself a bit. Needs to get that S rank. Got it. 2 kills already in the bank. Double collected.
When you see Zed ult the Mundo like that and you're Samira sitting in the bush, you start licking your lips. You getting the chapstick ready because you about to go in.
Yes, sir.
Kills picks up both of those, and now it's a pretty disadvantageous fight if BDE want to stop this soul from being captured.
They also have double supers in the top lane and bot lane stacking up.
Oh,
I don't think you're
pushing this in though. They don't have smite.
I don't think you start this, but they're trying to pull the map. They're trying to play the map.
Yep.
Gonna take the third inhibitor and the dragon.
But they should lose the Nocturne for this.
Yep. Absolutely.
And that should stall the Clown Gaming push. I'm not really convinced on that play.
I probably I send somebody else to push instead of the Nocturne, I
feel like, do you even need to send the Nocturne to push? I feel like you had minions pushing.
Yeah,
you just stand at the dragon and you say, okay, we're not starting this, so you can't steal it. But if you stay here, your base does.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they give up a Nocturne to gain an inhibitor and a soul. Still trade up. And while it does stall the push for a bit, you got supers to keep pressure on the map, and that Infernal Soul will last. You're not getting rid of that. Oh my goodness, I just saw the Nocturne build. Is that what you're supposed to do?
Well, when I saw the shield bow, I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
Hey man, maybe he knows something that we don't know, so I gotta say.
No, okay, let's just ignore it. No one cares about the Nocturne. This is the Samira show here, okay? We're looking, he's got Lord Doms, he's got Collector. No edge yet. Probably won't have one because the game's going to be over.
Again, trying to jump onto Lissandra, but it's not the target you want. Hasn't even used the invulnerabilities, and one's going to go down.
And
Kills picks up the second. That was a quick one-shot from the jungler, but he's going to go down right afterwards. King Kong just runs it. Varger, and that forces the Gale Force and the Flash. Super minions are in the base. The Zenith Blades are landing. Samira's jumping all over the place. It's going to be a 2-0. Kills. Rough, buddy. But that's not going to change the... Oh, that wasn't Kills. Oh, that was Gintan. I'm sorry, Kills. You're killing it. Regardless, a 2-0 night in the Elemental League for the Clown Gaming lads. They made it fun, they made it interesting, they made it close, but at the end of the day, the 2-0 is up on the scoreboard, and you got to be happy about that.
Absolutely.
I'll definitely say that the first game felt more like TD just giving the game away. This one was much more back and forth, and it was much more entertaining to watch than two teams actually trying to win. So
Absolutely. So the
Good game
Leon,
from
don't worry.
BDE. Okay, Django,
Yes.
who gets player of the two games across both games?
Oh, you're taking both games into account?
Yes.
I've already forgotten last game. Who did
I
Kills
suck on
play?
Uh, Jin.
Was that Jin? The Jin wasn't that great. Was it? It was like good, but
No,
it wasn't like stand out, right?
No. The game one was definitely Kitano. With the cast in the field.
Yeah, I think I'd give it to Kitan because even though he wasn't like the
Yeah.
carry this game, he played his role extremely well.
He,
So
he
you're,
did
you're
what
both
he needed
saying
to.
Yeah, I'll give it to the mid laner here.
Yeah. I think the
Paka?
mid laner. I second that.
I'm gonna say my vote doesn't matter because you guys both already said it. But I'm gonna say
Oh, Wisdom's
my
a
boy
good one, too.
Wisdom.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I think
Yes,
that's
exactly.
really good.
Maybe I'm a support simp. I don't know,
Simp.
but
Simp.
played well both games. The Morgana game he played really well. This game he had a few iffies, but he played really well across the map. So I think they're both good ones.
We got
Sure.
we have a tier 3 simp. I hear in the Cowboys.
Hey, I can appreciate a support simp. I can appreciate it.
I mean, we have much love for supports here at Clown Gaming.
Alrighty. I think that's going to end our night. 2 best of ones, 2 dubs for the Clown Gaming organization tonight. It's a good time to be a clown. Thank you guys so much. I know this was a bit impromptu, but it was really fun hopping on the mic with both of you. Glad to be here. Big shout out to Clown Gaming and specifically my boy Sems for inviting me specifically out. Makes me feel all special when he hops in my DMs and be like, hey, can you do this for me? I'm like, oh, you came to me. What a guy. So makes me feel special. Has a good time. I have a good time coming on these. I hope everyone had a lovely night. Congratulations to the team itself for the 2 victories. And I'll catch you next time you see me. I don't know. I'm around, I guess. Have a good night, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye bye.